What's up, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com, part of the Medium Large Sports Network. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by special guest Jeff Erickson. He is RotoWire's senior editor, also the host of RotoWire Fantasy Sports on Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Also a Reds fan, so one of the first people I thought of when this series was announced as a guy I wanted to chat with. Jeff, we both agreed to this interview before we knew how Game 1 was going to go. So how are you feeling?
I'm disappointed that Hunter Green got knocked around so much because he's had such a great year. And I was, the formula for the Reds was try to keep it close, stay close and then attack the Dodger bullpen. And the whole stay close part didn't happen. So be it. I'm going tonight, and this is considered to be the less opportunity to try to steal a game, just because our choices were Lodolo on short rest or Abbott on short rest or a lesser pitcher. We chose lesser pitcher, Zach Littell. So we'll see what happens. But hey, we knew the formula for the Dodgers was get healthy, be right in September, October. And that's what happened. Blake Snell's been amazing for a month and a half now. He was amazing last night. Shohei did his thing. Teoscar, Tommy Edman did their things. Hat tip. This is the Dodgers that we thought we saw coming into the season. They still have bullpen issues. We'll get into that, I'm sure, but that is still the worry point. If there's one thing that's keeping me up at night as a Dodgers fan for future series, but I feel pretty good about the Dodgers going forward.
I want to talk about the pitching decision. Zach Littell, you mentioned it. I made the mistake of just assuming it was Lodolo. I'm like, I don't know a world where they don't do this. Obviously, that was incorrect. They go with Littell, who, as you said, there's a pretty big gap between the pitcher he has been and the other two guys, Lodolo and Abbott, that they were sort of in theory options. But again, the Reds were fighting till the end of the regular season. And so this is kind of where they land at. What are your thoughts on the decision to go with Littell on normal rest instead of one of the better pitchers on short rest?
Well, the problem with Lodolo is he pitched on Sunday and he pitched in relief, and he doesn't normally pitch on relief. He's had a number of injuries so far in his career, and including in his last start, where he was dominant against the Pirates, like really dominant, but then left with a groin injury late. And obviously it wasn't a major one, but it was something there just in the back of their heads. I thought bringing him in as a reliever in that Brewers game was a mistake. Easy to say that in hindsight, though, because you don't know that the Mets are going to get shut out by the Marlins in that one. They have to do everything you can to try to advance. I understand that. I thought it was a little bit of a reactionary move, especially because Lodolo is not used to relieving either, for that matter. And now they're basically without, he'll probably relieve in this game, is my thought, that Littell will probably go four, something of that nature. Littell is a good innings eater, but I think against the Dodgers in particular, he's mismatched. His weakness is that he gives up a lot of gopher balls, a lot of solo home runs. He'll throw strikes, but he gets too much of the plate at times. And guess what? The Dodgers are the wrong team to get too much of the plate at it sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe last night in 32 starts, he has only had one scoreless start this season, which is just a glaring number. And again, it's like so much of this matchup where the Reds starting pitching has been incredible. But the point you were making earlier, the problem is on the other side, it's Yoshinobu Yamamoto tonight. It was Blake Snell last night. It's potentially Shohei Ohtani if it gets to game 3. So from a Reds perspective, after the loss last night, you mentioned it, Snell as advertised, Dodgers offense maybe better than advertised, Dodgers bullpen maybe worse than advertised. What is the Reds' mindset coming into game 2 and trying to force a game 3?
Yeah, I hate to say that they're a happy to be here type of team, but they're kind of happy to be here type of team. We'll see. The thing about the Reds is they've shown a lot of resolve over the course of the season. When the Dodgers swept the Reds in August, that was the first time they've been swept all season long. Great. So even when they're playing at their worst, they bounce back. The Dodgers are a different level, and that's the problem. But it won't be through lack of belief, lack of effort. It's just a lack of talent, no power. And in the playoffs, you need to have someone that can hit for some power. Ellie De La Cruz led them in homers. And he went with a month and a half without a homer at one point in time, which tells you all you need to know about the Reds. I thought there were a couple of key inflection points, even late in that game. They didn't hit for Brian Hayes twice in key situations there where he was just overmatched. The last one being the 8th inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. I'd like to see Tito be a little bit more aggressive in that respect. they've chosen defense over offense on a number of different occasions, but 10-5 with the bases loaded is not one of those situations to choose defense first. Yeah. The Stevenson at bat was huge in that game. I mean, two or three times he swung at a pitch, fouled it off when it could have been ball forward, the bases loaded. I get it. I'm not a major league hitter. I'm not even a high school level hitter. I know hitting is hard, and he did well to make contact on those, but eventually he struck out. They changed the eye level. He was swinging at some pitches high out of the zone and then chased the slider below the zone. And that was with one out and the bases loaded, and the crowd is nervous. Everybody, it's teetering on the edge. There was a chance at that point in time, and that strikeout kind of just took the air out of the balloon.
All right, we're back. A little technical difficulties on my end. Jeff Erickson being patient with us. Jeff, last night, the Dodgers fans' nightmare came true with the bullpen. Do you think Dave Roberts and the Dodgers have a different approach moving forward, or is it just do the same thing and hope for a different outcome?
Well, I think there'll be some changes. First of all, the fact that Tyler Glasnow is available out of the bullpen, if they need him, I think they'll turn to him a little bit more readily this time. Maybe Roki Sasaki gets that chance. The weird part is Alex Vesia had so many problems with his command, especially. In college, I washed dishes as a sorority to pay for my meals. And one of the sororities I worked at, we had a girl we called the nice one. Alex Vesia is the good one. He's supposed to be the reliever that we're supposed to be able to trust in. And that's the thing that was a little bit weird. I think that's a little bit of a one-off, although, he had a couple other bad outings in September. But I understand the existential angst going on with Dodgers fans right now. I was at the Ohtani game where he threw the 5 no-hit innings. Then the bullpen blew it apart afterward there. And it was edgy. The crowd was booing Dave Roberts big time on that one there. You'd almost forget that they won the World Series last year. But I get it at the same time. It's not fun watching a bullpen not be able to throw strikes. I was also at a game earlier this year when Kasperius couldn't find the strike zone. Twins game. And unfortunately, he's kind of pitched himself out of the discussion at this point in time. But these are guys that you thought, okay, there's some upside here, and all of a sudden they're struggling too. When Enriquez struggles with the strike zone, I'm not surprised. That's what he does. Let's keep in mind, all this was happening under the umbrella of a 10-2 game. Right. If there's a real contested game, I think we'll see some different arms out there.
Yeah, that's the interesting piece because Vesia is the guy. We talked on our post-game show. I was just baffled that they went to him in that spot. Like, he's the Red Bull guy, and it feels like you put the Red Bull guy into a 10-2 game when he's used to drinking Red Bull all day. Like, I just don't know how he possibly performs at his best. Then you bring in Enriquez with guys on base, which seems like a recipe for disaster. And, even Jack Dreyer walks a run in and then gets 2 outs out of it. So he kind of, to some degree, did his job. But as a Reds fan, how small of a lead do the Dodgers need to have for you to feel confident? Like, if it's the 7th inning and that you get to the Dodgers bullpen down by 3, like, are you confident? Are you optimistic? Where are you at?
No, it's got to be like a 1-run game for me to feel any sort of good confidence. The fact that the Reds scored 3 runs there in the 8th, that's unusual. Joe Sheehan, my good buddy, writes the Joe Sheehan newsletter, talked about the Reds closing stretch. Even when they ran down the Mets and they won 7 out of 10, I think they scored more than 3 runs once in that stretch. This is not a good hitting team, unfortunately. Very light on the power side of things, especially. It usually shows up in the playoffs. Ball goes far, but the team wins. And that's certainly what happened last night.
Looking at this game, what's the X factor for the Reds? Like, as a Dodgers fan, what do I need to know to watch out for and say, if these things go right for the Reds, then I should start to feel a little bit nervous?
If the Reds are protecting a lead, their bullpen was, over the course of the season wasn't amazing. They were lights out down the stretch. You get to Tony Santillan, you get to Emilio Pagan, maybe even Chase Burns. This is a guy that throws 101. He's a starter that he's working as a reliever right now. And that's not unusual. If you look at the course of history, a lot of great pitchers started off as relievers first. Yeah. Johan Santana, Roy Oswalt. Earl Weaver used to bring every one of his rookie starting pitchers in as a bullpen guy to start off with there. So you just get 4 outs, get 3 outs. That's all we ask. And if we can get into that tight battle there, I think the Reds can win a battle of bullpens. They can't get into a shootout.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's the thing with the Dodgers. It's you're looking at the offense and saying, all right, against Zach Littell, this group which has historically been terrible in Yoshinobu Yamamoto starts. I mean, the run help that this support that this guy has gotten is like criminal level. And yet you're like, okay, if the Dodgers offense can just get this group to 5 or 6 with the way that Yamamoto has pitched so far this season, as good as Snell is, he had a better ERA. Like Yamamoto is going to finish in the top 3 or 4 in NL Cy Young voting. He's that good. And so it's like, if we can get 5 or 6 runs, if Yamamoto can get deep into the game, I think that's the key for the Dodgers side of things. Like if Yamamoto only goes 5 and the bullpen needs to go get 12 outs and it's a tight game at that point, I think you're right. I think that would be the nightmare for Dodgers fans, to have to sweat a 1 or 2 run lead or even a deficit while handing the ball off to the bullpen, because then it's like Russian roulette out there. Like, is it Emmett Sheehan? Is it Glasnow? Is it Roki Sasaki? None of these guys are proven, definitive, like lockdown players. And so that's going to be the key, I think, for the Dodgers. Offensively, though, I think that's where it rests. Like Teoscar Hernández, you mentioned, this guy's been a roller coaster this season. Kiké Hernández has been terrible this season. But these are two guys that when the lights come on, Jeff, they just seem to be better. What is it, do you think, about October and about the two Hernández guys being able to just figure things out?
Yeah, find someone you love. Like Dodger fans love Kiké Hernández, by the way. I mean, he could be hitting about 110 and he'll still get a standing ovation every time he comes up there. Totally. It's crazy because he's performed in the playoffs. That's basically it. And you know, and sure, he's charismatic, all that good stuff, but it starts with producing in the playoffs. He's done it time and again, so I get it. And he did it last night again. And the thing is, the Dodgers did this without having Will Smith out there. That's the thing that's kind of interesting. They have these stars at the top of the lineup. When the stars are stars, it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah, and Max Muncy's the other piece. We talked a little bit on our post-game show. He just doesn't look right. And so no Will Smith and a banged-up Max Muncy. But if Shohei Ohtani's going to do Shohei Ohtani things and Teoscar Hernández is going to do Teoscar Hernández things, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts right in the middle of it, I mean, those 4 guys can go out and they can win you a playoff series. So let's get you out of here on this, Jeff. You said you're going to the game. You're obviously rooting for the Reds. There's a little bit you said of, hey, we're just happy to be here. Give me a confidence level and a prediction for tonight's game.
Confidence level 3, excitement level 9. Prediction is probably pretty ugly. I'll say 5-1 Dodgers.
Okay, because the Reds have not won a playoff game in how long? Right? Isn't there a long stretch since they won their last playoff game?
There is a long stretch since they've won a playoff game, and the last time they won a series was 1995 against the Dodgers. So the Buster Posey, Matt Latos thing is the thing that sticks in my craw. Is like, that was a good chance. That was a good Reds team. And it's been over since then. So it's just this, and 2020 doesn't count, by the way. So this is a legitimate playoff season, at least. So
2020 counts in these parts, Jeff. You got to be careful about saying that.
Yeah. Okay. As a Reds fan, it does not count.
Okay,
there's a lot of things that happened that year, including Trevor Bauer being the Cy Young winner. I mean, come on. As a Dodgers fan, we can bond over that, right? There's a lot of aberrant things happening.
It's fair. If this gets to game 3, would Abbott be the guy you think starting for the Reds?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lodolo in relief tonight. You probably see Nate Martinez in relief tonight as well. There'll be a quick hook from Tito, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll see. Well, that is Jeff Erickson of RotoWire. Again, Jeff, let folks know. I know you guys have a special promo going on right now and where they can find your stuff, fantasy football and otherwise. Yeah, so, fantasy hoop season's getting started, hockey season's getting started, and of course, off season, it's never too early to start planning for your fantasy baseball drafts. Use promo code YouTube15. You get 15% off any RotoWire subscription.
Awesome. Love it. Well, that is Jeff Erickson. You can find him at Jeff_Erickson on social media. Again, check out RotoWire. They do an incredible amount of work in the fantasy space, but also just in the news space as well. So enjoy the game today, Jeff. I hope you enjoy it as a neutral baseball fan, not as a Reds fan, because I hope it's miserable for Reds fans. And I just want a massive lead like last night and minus all the bullpen problems. It's not too much to ask, I don't think.
Yeah, that's a very small favor for you to ask for there. It's just, I want a pleasant night, no confrontations, just have a nice night at the ballpark. That's all we ask.
Love it. I love it. Well, again, that is Jeff. We appreciate your time, Jeff. We will be back live here on this channel, DodgerHeads, Dodger Blue 1958, on YouTube. We'll be live after the game tonight, hopefully celebrating a win, but remains to be seen. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. As always, go Dodgers.